And I also just did an interview the other day. Yeah, it was like a
Dancing.
couple days ago for Dancing Village, The Curse Begins, which I'll just talk about it now. The Dancing Village, The Curse Begins is a prequel to another movie that I don't have in front of me. But
It's
yeah,
a prequel to
I
Kiki ni di Despa Penari. I don't know
it's
what that
like
means.
KKN or K.
KKNDI Desa Penari. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't got to watch it yet, but based on how good this one is, probably be watching that one as well.
All right. Well, you wanted
Spoiler
me
alert, I like
to.
the Dancing Village a lot.
Okay, so well, look, in this horror thriller, a shaman instructs Mila to return to return a mystical bracelet, the Kawaturi, to the dancing village, a remote site on the easternmost tip of Java Island. Joined by her cousin Yuda and his friends, Mila and her crew arrive on the island only to discover that the village elder has passed away and that the new guardian, Maba Buyat, isn't present. A lot of adventure happens. Eric, what did you like about this movie, which comes out in theaters April 26th? Again, Dancing Village, The Curse Begins. Shed some light.
Well, first of all, first thing that struck me was a lot of just the look of the movie reminded me a lot of The Long Walk. Now, let me be clear, Long Walk's completely different movie than this, but they had kind of a same kind of patina to them. This one also, it has a bunch of creepy moments, but if there's a jump scare in this, I couldn't remember it because it relies more on kind of dread, I guess. You know how you see like certain horror movies, they kind of lead up to the jump scare, and the really good ones just never deliver on the jump scare. So you're always kind of like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. And then it'll go off to the next scene, and then you're just kind of left with that for the rest of the movie. It does a lot of that. The main story, I guess, is that they open with this dancing ritual. It's a bunch of women from the village, and they go into like this kind of coma sort of thing. Their eyes turn white, and they just start dancing. And this like draws out the demon, that they're able to capture the demon or satiate it for a certain amount of time. Early on, they do a thing basically tricking the demon, and then they get this bracelet thing, and they just take the bracelet out of the village, and now the demon's not able to get back there anymore. One of the characters somehow finds the bracelet and thinks, oh, the demon wants this, I'll go give it to him so they'll leave me alone. And that was a bad thing to do. It's kind of a demon story, ghost story sort of thing. Definitely a horror movie. Definitely folk horror. This is a really good one. It's just really creepy. So one of the earlier dancers she's pretty young, but she's the mother of the main character that we follow through the rest of the movie. And what they end up doing with their relationship is I'll just say it's really good. I don't want to, it would be a spoiler to say much more than that. This was just a really, really great version of this kind of movie. And this is a kind of movie that I normally don't really gravitate towards, but this was just, yeah, they nailed it.
Eric, let me just butt in right now. Sorry. I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes. There is a critic, Avi Opper, New York City movie guru. He said that it's creepy and atmospheric, like you were saying, it's atmospheric. Problem is, he cited it as overlong, repetitive, and low on scares. What is the flip side to that? Did you feel that it was overlong or repetitive?
If he's looking for jump scares, then they're absolutely right. As far as like creepiness, this is one of those movies. It goes more for tone and goes more for atmosphere, dread, that sort of thing. If you're looking for oh, it's just a cat, or oh, the window open, like it doesn't have that. It does these things where like in the interview I point with Chemo Stambul, there's a scene where a guy's like trying to light like one of those lamps, like those kerosene lamps, and he's sitting there, and in the background you see this thing come out of the woods and just kind of start getting closer and closer to him, and the guy doesn't see this at all. We see it, it's the bomb under the table sort of thing, and it gets right there just as he gets the kerosene lamp turned on. Once the kerosene lamp turns on, the thing just disappears like right in front of you. So it's got like stuff like that where it's like you see a character doing something, but there's something else going on in the background that the audience is aware of that the characters are not. It's got a lot of stuff like that, which I really enjoyed that. But like, yeah, if they're looking for jump scares, this is not the movie, because I couldn't think of one that was in there. But there was a bunch of scenes like that were really creative.
Another critic, Mike McGranahan from Alcide, was saying that it's high quality horror. It's intelligent, character based, and creepy. Would you agree with a character based, intelligent film? Would you say?
Yes. I don't know about, I mean, definitely like the scenes that were set up were really clever and well done. But like when you say intelligent, that seems kind of a little hoity-toity, but I'm not saying he's wrong. He's probably right, but it's just I get a different thing in my head when I hear people say
Okay,
that.
okay, Eric. Let me tell you something. I'm very intelligent. Am I being Bruce? Am I being hoity-toity about
None of
being
us are
intelligent?
that intelligent. Bruce may be a little more than the rest of us, but that's not a high. We don't set a high bar, Greg.
We do not. You and I, yeah. Bruce is intelligent. You and me, a whole different story on that. Okay, let's be honest. Okay, no, all kidding aside. No, I'm not going to throw Eric under the bus. I'm not the one who's intelligent here. Bruce and Eric are. But anyways, here's the thing: the prequel, which is to the Dancing Village, The Curse Begins, which is KKK DI Desa Penari, highest grossing Indonesian film in history when it came out in 2022. Now, this film, Dancing Village, The Curse Begins, it is, quote, the first film made for IMAX movie ever produced in Southeast Asia. And in 2024, it will be one of the only 5 films made for IMAX productions worldwide. So to Eric's point, you constructed that scene with the thing in the background. I'm sure it's going to look really good in the big screen. Should people watch it? What is your final rating and final thoughts?
Yeah. Imagine how great it would be to watch The Long Walk in IMAX. That's kind of what you would get here with Dancing Village. And the fact that this is a prequel done by a completely different filmmaker from the original, that shouldn't be this good, but it is.
Okay. What is your rating? Great job, Eric, on this. Oh, yeah. I think Bruce and if we have some time, we need to watch this movie. I'm really excited for Dancing Village, The Curse Begins.
I'm going 4.5 now. This could probably bump up to a 5 on a rewatch.
My bad and Bruce's bad because he and I didn't watch too many films on the main feed. This looks like the movie that we should have seen, Bruce. Well, yes.
I talked about this with the director too. There's a bunch of like kind of CGI effects in this, but they're not like in your face CGI effects. There's a bunch of and you'll know this if you watch the movie, there's a bunch of like shots it's clearly a CGI shot. I just can't see where the seams are in it. Okay. If that makes any sense. It's like, I can tell this is not real. I can tell they did this in a computer. I just can't figure out how they pulled it off because I'm not seeing all the
seams with the little. All right, 4.5 stars from Eric Holmes for Dancing
I might
Village.
just have to go 5 on this one.
The pendulum swing. Where are you going to say 5?
I'll go 4.5, but I want to give this room to grow because this is definitely go up on a rewatch.